Hello, colleagues. It is 190th day of heroic struggle of Ukraine. Here is Natalia Ostaroprava, and we're welcoming you in our Lviv Mediacentru Ukraine. Who we have here right now with us, Andrii Vitrenko, First Deputy Minister of Education and Science of Ukraine. Hello, Mr. Andrii. Hello to everyone. Glory to Ukraine. So today is the 1st of September, and the pupils went to school. Can you please tell us how did the first bell happen in Ukraine? Well, thank you for the question. First, I would like to say that the 1st of September in Ukraine happened due to the armed forces of Ukraine, due to the heroic struggle of our education ministry workers, and the pupils managed to go to school. And this is something that brings us some warmth. And today we saw the pupils go into the first class with flowers, well dressed, and for those workers of educational industry, this is a huge success and huge happiness to see kids with flowers and well dressed. Because the worst that the education ministry member can see is an empty school or an empty classes. So as a matter of fact, the new studying years started. It started successfully. It started in accordance with the agreement with the president, and the school has became their territory of safety, and the parents of the pupils believed us and took the kids to the school. Taking into account that Russia is annihilating the educational establishment, and a huge amount of them are there under the occupants' control, in which regions did the people not manage to sit behind the desk. So I would say to a little bit I want a little bit clarify the question. We have three models of educational process organization. It all depends on the region. If we are talking about the temporary occupied territories, there the educational process also started there, but only in online format. The same situation we have in on the territories of higher danger. That is the territories closer to the front line, closer to the battlefield. There, depending on the situation, the studying process started online. The educational process in the rear areas or in those on those territories where the situation occurs, we have the mm, offline education where pupils have to go to school and there is no necessity to study this or that subject online. And also we have the mixed form of studying where two processes been combined. That is the classroom hearing and online education. If we are talking about the school, in offline, we have approximately 302 schools working. In online, we have more than 5,000, and the mixed form uses more than 4,000 schools in Ukraine. Depending on the taking into account the danger from artillery shelling, how are schools prepared for these kind of conditions, and what will measures be in case air alert will be there? Well, during the summer, together with the Ministry of Internal Affairs, together with the another services, state services, they were created the commissions that that examined all 100% of schools and educational establishments in Ukraine and gave their results, whether they are equipped enough and well for gaining the education, the higher education. Approximately 85% of uh, educational establishments have shelters. 75, uh, 75% of schools have it too. But I would say that every day the situation gets better. More and more newer and newer educational establishments open their doors for those pupils, and they are more and more equipped for the pupils in case of hazardous situations. I'm sure that 100% of all our educational establishments will be able to open their doors in front of the pupils or students and teachers. So we remember how we all prepared our emergency boxes, mm, emergency boxes. What are what should the pupils have with them in case of the emergency? Well, we have a recommendation from the state services that our ministry has also been broadcasting within its resources, both Telegram channels and the ministry Telegram channels. So these handouts and this information were given out. We also emphasize that the rucksacks should not be, first of all, not heavy for the people to be able to grab them and be able to hold them and to be able to wear them. There should be always water, some I would say power banks or flashlights, or if there is a need, some moist napkins for the child to be able to wait through the air alert in comfort. But those educational establishments that we examined all over Ukraine and we saw them, I would say that the local authorities are monitoring it quite strictly. And there, all the shelters are equipped with toilets, with water supplies, and I would say with the small snacks supplies, and as well as the first aid kits, both and power banks and flashlights. If we are talking about the numbers, how many pupils could start the educational process this year in comparison to the previous year? Well, in this year, the number of pupils declined a little bit. In the last year, we have 4,200,000 pupils. This time, it is 3.9 million pupils. But it all depends mostly on demographical reasons, since we have some demographical decline in the country, and depending on the form of education. Approximately 800,000 pupils went to school offline, approximately 2 million online, and the rest is taking the mixed form of education. In the conditions of wartime, how the educational process will change. Maybe some additional subjects will be added, for example, the life safety subjects, or maybe the training educational program will change, where some Russian actors or figures will not be mentioned. Well, of course, the wartime has put some changes into our educational program. First of all, we took a closer look at the practical portion for such courses as the Marsland security. We added there the elements of anti-mine fighting, how to behave in the vicinity of explosive devices. We added there the tactical medicine modules. Unfortunately, and I have to say it again, our kids have to know it because this is a full-scale aggression, and this made us to work through the children program again. A separate attention deserves the history of Ukraine that is right now based completely on Ukrainian archive sources, where the strict messages for our kids are given. And regarding the Russian uh, Empire and our relations with the Russian Empire, more attention is paid there to the question of national liberation movement. And when we dig into the new history of Ukraine and implemented such the terms as Russianism, Russian world, so-called, these are the messages that we are trying to put into the heads of our kids and make sure and show them how they are plundering our land. When it comes to foreign literature, as a result of the commission there at the Ministry of Education, from the program, they were taking out all the things that somehow increase the importance or show off Russian Empire and show Russian Empire as the one that has some kind of mysterious weapon systems, and simply to ruin these myths. And as that right now, we will also dig deeply into all the elements of educational program in order to build national resistance and national culture of Ukraine, who will be joining us with their intellectual efforts. So this was Andrii Vitrenko, the first Deputy Minister of Education and Science of Ukraine. Thank you, Mr. Vitrenko. As at right now, this is the, let's call it today, please follow us on the resources of Mediacenter Ukraine, because we did one more step closer to our